Australian Institute of Criminology is really proud to be able to host the 2010 Australian Crime and Violence Prevention Awards. I'd like you now to join me and officially welcome the Minister for Home Affairs and Justice, the Honourable Brendan O'Connor, who will present this year's awards.
Well, thank you very much. It's fantastic to be here this morning. Can I firstly acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Ngunnawal people, and pay my respects to their elders, both past and present. I'd like to specifically thank Auntie Ruth for a very warm welcome to country, and I think your insights into community involvement and engagement with police underlines the importance of today's event. Acting Commissioner Peter Drennan, Dr. Adam Thomason, my parliamentary colleagues, they may be here now, but I know if they're not, they'll be here through the course of this very important initiative. Martin Ferguson, Teresa Gambaro, Sophie Mirabella, Dawn Fardell, and also Councillor Alan Smith, Mayor of Dubbo City Council. It's with great pleasure that I'm able to join you today to present the 2010 Australian Crime and Violence Prevention Awards, a joint initiative of Australian state and territory governments. The awards play an important role in promoting and encouraging effective approaches to the prevention of crime and violence. Initiatives like those highlighted today perform a valuable service in assisting governments to identify and develop practical projects to reduce crime in our community. There were a total of 78 nominations this year, and I'm informed this is a bumper field of nominees, which demonstrates, I believe, the outstanding contributions being made in communities across the country. There are some central themes among this year's winners, which I'd like to go to. Working with young people at risk of offending or victimisation in prison and in the community. Working with victims of violence, and the importance of partnerships between all levels of government and community organisations. Local communities and police are undertaking some truly innovative and admirable work that deserves recognition. These awards are an opportunity to share the experience of those efforts and stimulate ideas in others. According to the AIC, crime and the fear of crime costs anywhere between, well, up to $36 billion per year. I'm forever using the figure $15 billion per year for organised crime, the cost, but that is just an extraordinary, even if that's out by a little, it is an approximation, that is an extraordinary impost upon our society. Crime prevention programs have an important place in Australia, and it may well be a cliche, but many truisms are. We know that prevention is better than cure. In other words, it is socially and economically better for a community to invest in preventing people being victims of crime rather than having to deal with the consequences of such a crime. So the societal costs are enormous: financial loss, physical harm, and the psychological impact upon victims that devastates so many individuals, families and communities. So today we gather to acknowledge and applaud those who have played a crucial role in preventing crime in our country. The Gillard government is committed to assisting Australian communities to address local crime and safety problems. We recognise that working with local groups to form grassroots solutions is often the best way to deal with local issues. Greater engagement among law enforcement agencies and communities reduces the likelihood of crimes being committed. With that in mind, the government has committed over $5 million to extend the successful Safer Suburbs plan to support projects addressing crime and antisocial behaviour through community safety measures. I have been personally fortunate enough to visit many of these communities, to hear about their varying needs and see the success of many innovative programs. Under the Safer Suburbs plan, the government has invested in security infrastructure, such as closed-circuit television in public spaces, street lighting in public spaces, but also, and most importantly I believe, effective diversionary programs that seek to assist those who may have already offended in the past, who may be more likely to offend in the future if they're not provided sufficient support. The government has also committed a further $15 million to continue the Secure Schools program to ensure that the security needs of at-risk government and non-government schools are met, and to ensure that those schools are not investing money in security but rather investing in education. Another means to fight crime is the Proceeds of Crimes Act. The Act deprives criminals of the proceeds of offences against Commonwealth law. Over the last 3 years, $30 million of confiscated money has been returned to the community to fund crime prevention and law enforcement measures nationally.